it'll be a minute. It will be a minute before we actually have all the employees that we need out here. Alright everybody, hello and welcome back to another episode of the Good Company campaign with me, Spacefish, and welcome back to our new big setup out here for producing our robotic assistants as well, pretty much the last task in this campaign. I mean, as you can see right here, it all kind of revolves around these robotic assistants. I will probably end up having to make a few minor changes to them, as in give them more processing power out here. This one we've already covered, so it really doesn't look too hard at the moment, and we've set most of everything up in the last episode as far as I can remember, at least in terms of workbenches. Now you can see we are still missing a bunch of employees out here. I'm not sure if we have also set up any logistics connections here just yet. It does very much look like it. If we look out over here though, okay, yeah, so we will need to actually... yeah, I remember. So the issue is that we currently kind of don't have any courier routes anywhere. So these things will need to go to right here. And need to actually just double check that this is logistics only. Okay, that does look like it. Do I have to? I'm not quite sure. I don't quite remember. Yeah, so I add this here for logistics only. And that way that should be covered. And then I will of course need to actually move over all of these things out here too. Why I have these, no, I do remember that was for a different challenge, but I will need, and let me maybe just, well, not deconstruct, I'm just going to keep the table just in case I need it, you know. But I'm going to place a courier pallet right here, which will be our second courier pallet, because of course we do need all of these programmable circuits out here. So what I'll need to do is I'll need to make a connection from here telling them, you know, what is going on? That's not what I'm telling them, but what is going on? Why is there all this random stuff in here? I'm so confused. What is this even? I don't quite know. Oh, can't get rid of it, huh? Why? Is it in there? It doesn't look like... Was there anything in there? No, there wasn't. The heck? Okay, totally unsure what that is about, but that said, this should be running, this should be making us our programmable circuits. Now, I don't think I've cross-checked everything for actual production frequencies yet, so we should probably go and do that. So out here, we are making 5 of these at a time. Now, how we are doing... Wait a second, how am I getting circuit boards in there? Oh, I've got a route going from here, don't I? I think I've got a route going from here to there. But so we've theoretically got 5 every 20 seconds, which 20 seconds does apparently mean 1 day. Does that mean 1 day? Kind of unsure, not gonna lie. Okay, well, we will hope that that's actually how it works. So it would be 5 every day. And how much do we need out here? We've got 4 in here. I probably should more look at the blueprint. Okay, so that should be good in theory for a start. Now, we will of course need a courier route down here, but given that we don't have couriers currently, I mean, can we set it up already? We can. So I suppose we can do that. We will add this pallet here and that one right there. Hello? That one right there, yep. And, oh yeah, and then of course we will need to go and add a new rule in here, which will be, oh, we've got a polished bot chassis in here with logistics only. We're going to increase the amounts of slots in here a bit. Going to do the same over there. And then that route should be sort of set. Now input, oh yeah, input does make sense theoretically somewhat. Actually, should I just delete this connection here just to make sure nothing is actually messed up here? Our output is right here. So we're going to just delete that again. We're going to connect that again. Oh wait, that's a wooden bot chassis. Wait a second. Where's my polished bot chassis at? Wait, did I not finish that in the last one? Okay. So, first one right there. Nearly missed that one. But after I'm done setting up the courier routes, then we'll kind of, you know, continue with that. So we've got the input right here of that. We've got the output right here of that. Well, I mean, yeah, now it's a bit messed up, isn't it? Okay, anyways. Gonna check that in a second. I'm, of course, already gonna create a second route from here. Wait, from here to here, just like that, and we've got this as an output. Don't really want this as an input, but we will hopefully fix that in just a second. Now, what we will of course need to do here is we will need to add the programmable circuit as a rule as well. You know, I'll just get that nice and stacked up, and then we will kind of define that these will need to be flowing into here for our bot production, which should then make this flow out just like that. And then we've got our volleys rolling off the assembly lines and onto our sales courier pallet, which that automatically set it up as a sales order. Perfect. So now this, of course, and it looks kind of, well, has got this exclamation mark here because we've not got this defined just yet, so we'll need to work on that for a second. Now, question being, what were we sort of missing out here? Did he always have these triangular eyes? I feel like that's different. Interesting. Anyways, moving on. Not to the courier routes though, but to the information browser. So, we wanted to have our polished bot chassis, for which we need polished wood, for which we need the wooden bot chassis. Now we've got refined wood down here, and we've got the wooden bot chassis down there. So let's see what else we need for the polished wood for a second, maybe, before we kind of move on with things. Polished wood, yep, exactly. For this we need refined wood and we need chemical compounds. Do I have enough refined wood out here? I'm making 5 of these. Wait, making 5 of these every 0.4 days, and I'm making 1 of these every 0.6 days. Out of 5 of these. Seems a bit close for comfort if you ask me. Okay, so one thing that we will need one way or another is going to be a chemistry table for the chemical compound. I'm going to place that up here because we don't really need that space anyways, or at least we don't need it to be open. So we will be doing chemical compound right here in the corner, which will then be used for our polished wood. Now I'm not quite sure this is going to be enough, so I'm just going to go and resort to using another precision workbench and then another one, and we're just going to place a small shelving rack in between the two, which it'll be closer to that one because this will probably be the one with less of an overflow than this one. This will be doing refined wood again, and this will be doing polished wood then. And then we will, of course, need one final precision workbench, which we could place right around here, to be honest. I don't see a big issue with that right now. And we could just use that to then make the polished bot chassis. And that should be everything. Now, we will, of course, have to kind of sort this out for a second because that's not all complete. So we'll need the chemicals in here, which will be going in there to make chemical compounds. Chemical compounds will be moved out to there. We'll need metal out here, and we will need the wooden bot chassis out here, and we will need some wood out here. And I'm already kind of wondering if we'll have enough space in this small shelving rack. We do have another 2 slots, so that should be just as many as we need right now. Actually, it isn't, because I need chemicals as well. Does that... No, wait, does that work? No, it doesn't work. Okay, let's do this differently. I'm going to move this thing over to its separate space, because we do not have enough space out there in this small shelving rack. So we'll be doing this instead. We'll give this a separate assembly place. So for the refined wood, we will not need metal anymore. we will need standard wood, which we already have routed. We will need chemicals. These can also go, and we can move those over there instead. Then we will have the chemicals in this one to make some refined wood, which we will then reuse in this one together with chemical compounds to make polished wood. Now, this should in theory be overflowing a good bunch as well, so I'm just going to make the employee move over there himself, you know, just put a little less load on our logistics employees, because I think it should be fine without bottlenecking us there. Then we'll of course need some metal out here, and that should be everything that we then need for the actual polished bot chassis, which will then go into here as intended. And that's that. Cool, good stuff. I'm just going to up this to 60 because we don't need the space for anything else. And that is our whole chassis production setup. Now, why we have an exclamation mark out there still, I'm not quite sure. Let me know. Not enough. Yeah, okay, I mean, that's sure. Yeah, I don't have any employees right now, but we will fix that once more employees get onto the employee market. Cool. So that is that part totally set up now. We have these connections for the in setup. All the other connections are set up as well now. The only question would probably be, are we making enough stuff to build this? That'll probably be the last question out here. So, I mean, we've got the 16 segment display. We just had 2 of these assembly stations, so I wouldn't be too worried about it just yet. I mean, honestly, should I even be worried about any No, honestly, I'm not even worried about bottlenecks here. Like, we could spend hours upon hours to actually optimize this stuff, and I'm sure there's bottlenecks hidden somewhere. I mean, there always is, right? But the thing is, we just need to sell 40. We're not under any particular production, like, no, not production constraints, but like time constraints, as in you need to produce as many to kind of get things going properly or something, right? It's really just like, you know, just sell 40 of them. And after that, I mean, it doesn't really get much worse. It's really just 5 a week, which is doable. And if we ever run into any constraints, I can honestly really just go and, well, I can honestly just go and get a few of those into my inventory and be happy with it. That said, things are being spread out here. I don't quite know. Yeah, I think we need one more logistics employee. Like, this is such a big zone. Like, 4 is the bare minimum, if that is even enough. We don't even have a single one over there yet, so we do need to catch up on that too. And I will work on hiring the first few people out here as quickly as possible to try and get this whole thing ramped up. Because as you can see, we are still very much missing employees out on the open market, so I'll be just fast forwarding while we spam the hire button out here, and it does seem to only be proceeding at 1 employee a day, so that'll be a minute. It will be a minute before we actually have all the employees that we need out here. That said, I think the next one should probably go to the courier route, so I'll add an employee right here. Oh, no, wait, that's not what I wanted to do. I'll add an employee right here. That is then covering the courier routes out here. This stuff is kind of covered, but I'll probably want a second logistics employee, and then we'll need employees for final assembly out here that we will get in right there. And as you can see, we're still missing a few things. I do hope that we have, yeah, I think we have got all the stuff. It's really just a matter of things catching up. And now I'm just going to add one more logistics employee to the match, and that should be enough to get everything to where it needs to be pretty much. Now, you are waiting for these things, which don't seem to be in there. Oh yeah, because she's just now starting to work on it. So now we're actually getting some mechanical parts stacked, and those should be going over there. Give us the simple gearboxes and so on and so forth. Other than that, everything does seem to be running rather decently, so I'm pretty happy. Do you guys see any major issues so far? I don't. We're even getting a few first programmable circuits out there, which is great, you know. Not sure why he decided to not pick any up this time. Oh, right, because I've got a limit out here. Let's just raise the limit. I don't see a reason not to have a bit bigger backlog, because, I mean, that thing is really just there to give some intermediate storage there. Then again, why is nobody moving them into here? Oh, because it's already full. Wow. Okay. And here come our first few polished bot chassis. The gearboxes are catching up as well, and you can really just nicely see the whole machinery kick into gear. It's really awesome. Now, one thing that's probably worth keeping an eye on is how many can we sell? One. Okay, that's probably a bit low given our production capacity, so I'll be placing a hefty discount on this, like, I don't know, 18% apparently, because I want to be able to sell 5 a week. Not particularly due to this target or anything, more because, if you'll remember, we have these, right? So I kind of want to already see that we're able to get there at a rate where we're at least not losing money or anything, and that should then be good. That said, we've got these polished bot chassis out here. It seems like all the logistics employees are super busy though or something. I'm not quite sure. These things are stacking up and everybody's waiting for them, but the logistics employees are just like, you know, I'm sure there's more important things out there. But that said, here go our first few Wallies, and they're hopefully going to start making us money soon, because as you can see up there, we're starting to lose a bunch of money, so better get that going quickly. But they're out here on the courier pallet now, waiting to be sold, and given that we need to sell 40 of these, I'm not gonna torture you guys with having to watch for the next, like, hour of me actually selling off all these things, so I'll just be placing a quick cut right here for you all, and then I'll be back once we're a little bit closer to that goal down below. Alright, and welcome back. As you may be able to spot, I've made a few smaller changes in the meanwhile while you guys were gone. Nothing too crazy. But we actually had a few bottlenecks that were a bit too mad to ignore them, so I actually added on another 2 chassis, production facilities, precision workbenches, right, where we are making another bit of a wooden bot chassis and then the actual polished bot chassis to kind of get the production frequency up there a bit, because we were waiting on those way too much, and then we had a little bit of a gearbox bottleneck, so I needed another gear production, so like another mechanics workbench to go ahead and speed that up a bit as well, because we were a bit low on gears here to constantly supply these workbenches. That said, as you can see, with this week we are now at 39 out of 40 sold. I've also gone to the market overview and kind of deepened our discounts a bit, because you can see up here we are starting to make so much money now from this totally unoptimized production that, well, as our export palette was already that full, I figured I may as well just go and deepen the discounts a bit more so that I can kind of reach the goal a bit quicker and not totally have this overflow with products either, because these 2 ladies are really producing away like mad right now. That said, we are rapidly approaching Sunday, and with that, the completion of our current goal, and after that, that means, firstly, that we've now theoretically already
nobody would have expected this economic outcome.
Yeah, okay, thank you, Mr. Porton. But yeah, now, so we have theoretically already completed the actual Good Company campaign, which is mad. But of course, as always, we are going to stick around for those last few trophies. So, let's head on with that. What a relief. Tourists are no longer clogging up Bloomville's side streets. Instead, they are being perfectly shepherded towards the summer Cyber Games venues and merchandise shops. You've really impressed me. Give my assistant Angie your number. Perhaps we should hit the putting green sometime. The putting green, rather. Slightly off there. Glad to see that she is this happy. Wow, my colleagues over at the Bureau will be super impressed with how far we've come. I wonder if we can push things even further though. With a processing power of at least 6.0, we should easily, or could easily rather, sell these robots as personal assistants. Why, what an intriguing idea. In fact, even I could use such a device. Okay, so yeah, as I already, kind of prefaced right here, we're gonna now have to push the processing power of our robotic assistant, or robotic guide rather, to 6.0. We're currently at 5.6, so we're really not that far off. And as you can see right here, these programmable circuits are just piling away on my courier pallet, waiting to be used. And they're piling away down here too. They're totally clogging up this inventory. Like, this is like the pick and place machine. The production speed is flip insane. I'm telling you, I'm just gonna up the bandwidth all the way to the max here, just so you know we're stocking up even some more. So, you know, why not? But yeah, so we've certainly got more than enough of these programmable circuits out there, and well, I mean, we've got a few choices, but I'm guessing either we get rid of like simple gearbox, or yeah, I'm thinking simple gearbox is probably the way to go. Like, could also go for a double battery stack. I suppose battery life is not as important as these here, so maybe that's the better option to not totally kill our market appeal. But let's duplicate this stuff. Let's edit this guy, and if we get rid of this, we're at 0.4. Oh, I wish you could just go Control Z or something to just go back, but I'm just going to put this back in just to double check. So this gets us to 0.4. If I get rid of a simple gearbox... Interesting. Okay, I would have kind of thought that the mandatory features have a bigger impact if I get rid of it. But maybe it's kind of just like also, or more so tied in with how much like proportionally you get these bars to go up, and well, battery life is just impacted harder by the double battery stack apparently than it is by the simple gearbox. And as we already had a little bit of a bottleneck out there, I don't really mind getting rid of it. So instead we're gonna then do that, and then we're gonna go grab a programmable circuit which fits in like a charm, and well, market appeal of 1.0. That means we're even better on the market appeal than with the old design, which is nice, which is very, very handy. I am going to grab this little guy, and I'm probably gonna, you know, grab that one or that one. Nope. Let's grab this little guy. I think, you know, we are very much nearing the end of the campaign, so we may as well try out some new designs. I'm going to go for the teal and gold design out here. I think that looks quite cool. This one isn't too bad either, a bit girly, if you ask me, probably. But the teal and gold one, you know, looks pretty decent. So I'm going to go for that one. And, Wally 2? Wally 2.0? Oh, caps lock here. I mean, that works. Okay, let's just call it that. Let's just call it that. Or yeah, let's go for that. I think. Let's finish that design, just like this, and this is going to be our new robot. This should be a very quick change. I mean, we really just need to change the recipe out here, and then other than that, all the inflows stay the same. Like, we really don't change anything big or major about the recipe here. The only thing being the programmable circuits. I probably want to quickly adjust the bandwidths out here to make sure that we do have enough of these things in stock. So I could have actually lowered the simple gearbox, but well, it is what it is. We're going to go with this. We're going to hopefully then, you know, stack up on those programmable circuits a bit more. These ladies are going to work away like mad. And I kind of forgot a little part right there, didn't I? I probably should get rid of this thing and should tell them, you know, you can move that thing into there now. And then, you know, up that bandwidth again and lower that one again, all that good stuff. We will, of course, have a little bit of initial cannibalization of sales and stuff with these other woolies in there, but I hope that'll quickly fix itself. And then other than that, yeah, I mean, that's fine. Not really too bothered about the missing supply, my dude. We should, that way, be able to do this rather quickly, I hope. Our first week, of course, being a bit slow, most likely, but then the second or the third week, we should easily be able to do that, because as I told you all, we've been able to sell, like, 6, 7 of the old ones every week so far, so we should be able to reliably do this with the new ones. I just kept the discounts low for a second there to get rid of the old ones, you know, didn't want to have them pile up in there, and now we're just gonna, I mean, we can honestly just get it to potential sales a week of 5 and be happy with it, no? we don't really need more. So we're just going to get it right to that point, and I'm going to speed up time a bit, and I'll place a quick cut, and I'll be back with you when Sunday comes around. Alright everybody, it is Saturday, so we're just about nearly there. As you can see, we've got more than enough of these little bots lying around on these shelves, so in just a second we should be able to go and finish this order off as well, and there we go. Another trophy for this campaign mission now in the bag. I must say, I love my assist bot 5000. How did I ever live without it? But can I give you a little tip? My mayor friends at the golf club are all fascinated by this device, but none of them will buy one off their own. Why is that? It's almost impossible to cram more features into the small device. What else could they want from it? I'm afraid it's a little more, something more shallow than that. The robots simply don't look exclusive enough, except that they already do. Produce something with a nice finish and you'll sell it to higher... Sorry for that one. And you'll sell it to a higher caliber of client. Thanks for the tip. This is a great opportunity. Let's produce a model with a polished bot chassis. This could open up a totally new class of customers for us. Already did that, you know. Was apparently not fancy enough for them either, then. I don't know. Anyways, moving on. As you all know, I mean, I've already intentionally designed this thing that way, right? So, we're good, we're golden. It's like, I've intentionally already pre-designed everything that way, so we wouldn't need to worry about that when this mission comes around, because I had already seen it. So, I'm just going to keep this on fast forward, and it's going to be like a few days, and we're going to have this campaign finished. And with that will also come the end to the Good Company campaign, at least in the current patch. I mean, I know 0.8 actually very recently dropped, so I'm not quite sure if there's maybe any new missions out there right now, but I don't think so. So this may very well be the last episode on the Good Company campaign for a while then. But here we go. As you can see, Mr. Portent's around again.
Despite the circumstances, this enterprise managed to prevail. Hey, did you know I have a stunt double? Stevie, great guy. Never here.
Stevie. Interesting. But yeah, with that said, that's our third actual trophy for the Good Company campaign. And going back to the Good Company campaign map, as you can see, the only thing left out here now, for the time being at least, is the challenges. Now you can already see a little bit of a way up there, and it could very well be that throughout early access there will be more campaign missions added. But for the time being, it's been an absolute age. I've absolutely enjoyed this campaign. I've absolutely enjoyed playing this together with you all. But for the time being, this will end off my series, our series, on the Good Company campaign on this channel. It's been a very fun time. It's been almost like half a year or so, I think. Probably like 26, 27, 28 episodes so far. So it's been an absolute age. Now, what I'm going to do with this slot, I'm not quite sure. I will most certainly keep using it for Good Company for the time being. I may either swap over to going totally free play for the time being and just doing that with you all a bit more intensively, or, you know, maybe we eventually do some challenges, either of those. I mean, let me know what you all may be interested in down below in the comments, and I'll make sure to look into that as well. But for the time being then, this is going to have been it for the Good Company campaign. As I said, it's been a great, awesome, long time with you all. I very much hope you all enjoy the series. I certainly did. Thank you all very much for being around. I hope you'll stay around for free play, of course, for other series on the channel, and well, I just hope to see you down below in the comments of the next episode, and, you know, as early access continues, hopefully sometime down below in the comments of a different Good Company campaign episode as well. But this is going to conclude it then. So, well, thank you all once more very much for all the support, for being around. I really hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, as always, you know, for this last episode, also don't forget about hitting that like button down below. And if you're just now new to the channel and want to stay around for more stuff, want to check out the other Good Company campaign missions or some of my other episodes, also don't forget about hitting that subscribe button right down below, as well as the bell icon right next to it. But with that then, I'm going to conclude the series on the Good Company campaign right here for the time being. Thanks a lot for watching, everyone. I hope you all have a great day, I hope you all have a great week, and I hope I'll see you all down below in the comments of a different video rather soon. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. Ciao.